Welcome to this week's Deal of the Week. We're going to take a look at a really great house, but if you guys have been out there doing some house shopping, you know that the mood has changed a little bit. So I want to go through sort of my new 4 rules for home buying as we head into the end of 2025. Number one, remember this: you set the price. The days of a seller's market is over. This is a buyer's market. You don't need to be messing around. You can ask for concessions. You're certainly going to go under list price. You're going to ask for repairs, and you're not going to be hesitant about this stuff because sellers are out there. They're starting to get a little bit more desperate, especially if they overpriced and their house has been sitting on the market. So 4 weeks on the market means it's overpriced, and you're going to pay less than the list, or you're going to walk away. Things are a little less certain now, obviously. Property prices are not rising, so we want to stick to established neighborhoods only. We're not looking to become pioneers at this point, hoping in the next 3 or 4 or 5 years a neighborhood's going to start coming back. I think at this point you should be sticking to established neighborhoods only. Also, we want to be looking at lower maintenance properties, and there are plenty out there. Inventory is up. So, as always, look for the newer roof, the HVAC, electrical, any structural upgrades so that you're not looking to put money in or having to borrow money at higher interest rates in the next couple of years. And then finally, we want homes with broad appeal features. And what I mean by that typically is homes that if something changed for you, then you would be able to sell the house more easily. And that typically means a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with a quote unquote normal floor plan, preferably a 3-2, depending on your price range. So let's just jump in first of all to this house here, which is my first deal of the week, and it's at 1533 Suffolk Street North, and it's the Tyrone Gardens neighborhood, which is kind of over by Tyrone Square Mall. And first thing I want you to look at is this price per square foot, $251, which is, I want to say like pre-pandemic prices almost. Once you get down into the lower or the mid twos. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 1,694 square feet and a detached 1-car garage. So let's buzz through the pictures, and you'll notice that this is not a recent renovation. The roof is 6 years old, so you should be in good shape there. You can see, the tile looks nice, but it's probably not what a new renovation would call for. Big living room. I like those sort of wood-paneled ceilings. Not everybody does, but I think it looks pretty nice. I don't know if that picture does it justice because that's a pretty big couch that you've got there, and it kind of skews the size of the living room. Again, the bathroom, not a recent renovation, but perfectly serviceable with a walk-in shower. Back to the living room here. The kitchen with the older oak cabinets, could be a long-term upgrade, could be a refinishing or a refacing there, maybe some stainless appliances as those start to go, but certainly move-in ready. I kind of like these open beam ceilings here. And when I see these, I tend to get a little bit nervous because on a flat roof, you may not have insulation. I don't know what the case is here, but if you can see right here, you'll see that there are AC vents, which means there's got to be ducts there, which means there had to be enough room to put AC ducts. Hopefully there's some insulation up there as well. So let's buzz through the rest of the picture. I mean, it's a big kitchen too, if you see that. That's a really good sized kitchen. This is a 4-bedroom. That second bathroom is big. This looks like out the back of the house, probably an addition at some point because it has an exit door. It looks like it goes out the back. So this would be the primary suite is what they're calling it. And then you've got a detached garage back here with a nice porch. Nice pavers back there. Really, really pretty nice looking house here. And so let's just go through and see what we've got here. So this is 1533 Suffolk. It's at $251 a square foot. At $240 a square foot, that would put us at $406. And I would absolutely love this house at that price. 73 days on the market. I'm going to guess that we've got an owner that's willing to make a deal at this point. Let's just take a quick look and see how many price changes. They started at $550 back in June. Obviously got no action on that, and now they're down $125,000 to $251 a square foot. Also, do a quick look and see this is a low crime area. It's a non-flood zone. So this place has got some real positives going for it. And let's see what else. Let's just go through the rules again. Set the price, 73 days at $550. This guy's got to be ready to negotiate after a couple of price drops. This is an established neighborhood, the Tyrone area. It's pretty solid, so you're not a pioneer. You're not going to be worried about, neighborhood going down or not continuing to improve because it is an established neighborhood. It's got a newer AC, and the roof is only 6 years old, so hopefully we're not looking at any surprises there. And this has got broad appeal. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath with a lot of square footage. So, again, worst case scenario in a couple of years, if you had to sell or rent, this is eminently rentable because it's a pretty good size house. You're looking at the maximum buyer pool. This is not a 2-1 where you wouldn't be able to sell to a family or a roommate situation. This is a lot of room. So, and again, we'll finish up on the, we already went through this, the crime score is really, I think it was it is a 4 out of 10 here. And the price value at $251 a square foot, it's a $322 square foot neighborhood average here. So there's a lot of nicer, bigger, more modern homes in the area. And, it's one rule of home buying is you want to buy a lesser home in a better neighborhood. And that can buffer any downside when, prices are not holding up quite as well. So I love this house at $240 a square foot, which will put it at $406. We're not in a flood zone. Assuming the 4-point came back good, I think this is a winner. So if you're thinking about something in this size range, almost 1,700 square foot, could use a little TLC, front yard and stuff, but otherwise looks really nice. If you like it, give me a call, let me know. We'll go out and take a look at it. We'll make an aggressive offer on it. And this is my deal of the week. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you next time.